Topo Athletic is committed to lifelong health and better movement. Topo builds running shoes for those who get out there every day regardless of weather, speed, energy, or mood. Their distinctive fit and feel combines instinctive human movement with modern performance and lightweight comfort to help you keep going, keep trying, and keep moving. Discover the Topo difference and step into a run experience unlike any other.
Well, there's Rach right now.
Oh,
How
hi.
are you
Hey.
doing? How are you doing?
Good. Not too bad. Not too bad. Enjoying like a nice sunny day in Vancouver.
I'm excited to have you on the show. I mean, by the way, congratulations on the Ironman World Championships at how do I pronounce it? Is it Lati?
Lottie. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into talking about that, but I just want everybody to know that the Fiery Embers is just like a silly, funny segment. So you might want to drop that glass of water because there might be some really funny stuff here. But I'm trying something new here. I'm going to start off with the dad joke that got everybody at my last race. So are you ready for this, Rach?
I'm so ready. I love dad jokes.
What is a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
You'd think it'd be R, but it's actually the C. Yeah, the Pirate Boys too. Do you know dad jokes?
I'm terrible. I don't remember. Like, I love jokes, but I don't remember any.
Well, I know that. Well, for everybody who doesn't know, Rach does play is a cellist.
Cello.
Cello.
Yeah.
So I guess the question I have for you is, would you ever ride a bike while playing?
You know, when I was back when I was like more of a musician and I was like carrying my cello around all the time, I was also a bike commuter, and I would like be really tempted to ride my bike like with the cello in its case on my back, because it was like I have backpack straps for it, but I was so paranoid about like crashing or getting like falling and damaging my cello that so absolutely not. I would not, if it was my cello, that like my precious cello, I would not do that and ride a bike at all. No.
Okay, well, that's good to know. That was the most important question on the top of silly shenanigans, but I do have a few questions that I wrote down here, and I always change these up on the Fiery Embers because they're just like fun, simple questions. So this is nothing like the rapid fire that you experienced before, and in between it, I'm probably going to ask you to talk a little bit more about Lati and just your experience there recently and just the season. But we'll start with some questions. So are you ready, Rach?
Ready.
What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit is mango.
I love mangoes. Now I'm a big mango fan. I'm also a big pineapple fan, but apparently only one of us likes it on pizza here. So I can't even remember. I think you were team pineapple on pizza, correct?
Yeah, I was totally team pineapple.
Okay, awesome. I think Sandy was too, if I remember.
Yeah.
I just went with that one. It was funny. The guest we had yesterday was the first penne on pineapple on pizza in like 10 episodes, and Jason wasn't on the episode.
Damn.
Question. We walk into a party. What song would you play at the party that screams, "I'm Rach McBride"? I guess like the theme song of your life.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Eye of the Tiger keeps following me around.
It reminds me of another question is, where did the Purple Tiger nickname come from? Oh, shout out to Anthony Lee. Congrats, Anthony, again on UTMB. We just had him on the last Fiery Embers. So Topo must be loving us right now.
Amazing. So yeah, the nickname came from when I was younger. So when I was 18, I had my head mostly shaved, and it was dyed in what I thought were zebra stripes, but it looked like tiger stripes. And I was living in Berlin at the time, and I was walking down the subway platform, and this little kid and his mom walked by, and this little kid said, "Guck mal, Mutti, eine Tigertante," which in English is like, look, mummy, a tiger lady. But it was like, and my girlfriend at the time who was with me thought this was adorable. So in German, it's not like, it's translated as tiger lady, but it's really tiger auntie.
Mm.
And it's like a kid's way of saying like a nice way of like talking about a stranger. Anyway, so that kind of became a nickname for a while, and then the tiger just sort of stuck. And I don't really know where the purple, I don't remember where purple came from, but it definitely started at the beginning of my career somehow. Even before I had like tiger print outfits, I was already purple tiger. And maybe I had dyed my mohawk purple. That might have been it. Yeah.
Interesting. Actually, I think the photo that I have of you for the promotion actually shows your hair dyed as purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think perfect for introducing you as Purple Tiger on the promo. It worked out perfect. And quick before I go to the next question, my coach and friend Heather Catchpole says hi.
Oh, Heather, she's amazing. I love Catchpole so much. We have a good time when we hang out.
She's gonna love the shout out. So next question is, what is your favorite topo shoe?
My current favorite topo shoe I'm obsessed with is the Cyclone. The new version of the Cyclone is just like so exciting for me. I raced with it in Finland, and I've just been training in it a lot, and it's just like so light and responsive and awesome. The other, and my second favorite is also still the Spectre. Like Spectre is yeah, I love it so much.
Awesome. What is one thing you wish existed but doesn't?
Oh boy. I want to say like a Pegasus. I would really like Pegasuses to be real, because that would just be really fun to ride a flying horse.
Yeah, would be that would be amazing. And wait, is there a difference between a Pegasus and a unicorn?
Yeah, so unicorn just has a horn, and they don't usually have wings.
Okay.
I feel like a Pegasus is like a winged horse.
That would make more sense. Because there is, like, we've been doing Trivia Thursdays, and we've been trying to like rope Topo in on it too. Trivia Thursdays brought to you by Topo Athletic. Silly questions that nobody gets the answer to. Like, there was a dog one. What is the national dog of France? And everyone put Bichon Friche, but the actual answer was poodle, and nobody put poodle. But the little tangent there is because apparently there's a country in Europe that has a unicorn as like their national animal. It makes me wonder if they're out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't remember what country that is, but I do.
I don't
can picture it.
And there are some interesting ones out there. We just put one out for, apparently they did a survey and they found out that in Iceland, half the country believes in elves.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard that fact.
Scotland is the one. Yeah.
Oh, Scotland has a unicorn?
Thank you, Lawyer Chicky. I don't know, probably butchering that. I'm sorry, but it is Scotland. Yeah. But here's another one for you. Do you cannonball into the pool, or do you take a dip first with your toe?
I test the waters with the toe for sure. If it's a foreign pool. If it's a pool I know, I just jump in.
I like that answer. It's funny, the two guests we had on before Anthony, because I don't think Jason asked this question, because they're all my silly questions. They all said cannonball, and you're like, dip.
No. I mean, I would love to say that I'm like a cannonballer, but if I'm really honest, like, I want to know the temperature of the water I am jumping into, so I'm not completely surprised.
That makes sense to me. I think the more I think about it, it is very situational for me. Like, if I know the pool, but I'm also like a cold plunger, so maybe not. Sleep in or nap?
Oh, both, yes. I mean, I do love getting up early in the morning and like like being outside early and enjoying that like early morning quiet. But I do really love sleeping in. Not
Yeah,
setting an alarm is like one of my like best joys in life.
it's one of my favorite feelings, especially when your race season's over and it's like,
Yeah,
yes.
totally.
But there's also like, I don't know if this happens to you, but do you ever have moments where like you've been waking up so much for like your routine that like you try to sleep in and it's like 5 a.m. and you're like wide awake?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Uh, okay, so here's so before we jump into the next set of questions, I want to ask you about your experience in Lati. I did read a post that it had been, I think it was 9 years since you did Ironman Champs, or tried to qualify for it. So tell me, I guess, what the fundamental difference was for you between 14 and 23 and what the different experiences were like.
Yeah, so I think, I raced world champs in 2011 and 2014. And at that time, I was like, it was very early in my career. Like 2011 was the first year of my career. And 2014, like at that point, I was racing primarily 70.3s. Like that was my goal. Like big thing was to get to worlds and like to be top 10. It was really awesome. 2014, I did end up top 10. I was ninth that year in Tremblant, and it was a great race and a great experience. And I was kind of in 2014, I would say, in the peak of my 70.3 fitness. And yeah, it was just like, it was kind of on her home turf in Canada, and yeah, felt like a really, really big deal. Going into this race, it was like I qualified it by winning Boulder last year, and like that win was just like I wasn't even like focusing on 70.3s and like triathlon really. I was racing so much gravel that I was just kind of like, oh, this is fun. Let's like go and do whatever races end up like in my vicinity. And so qualifying was just like out of the blue, and it was like, oh, I hadn't even considered in like not, that at that point 8 years like racing 70.3 worlds. And I'm like, sure, like I at this point in my career now, I love exploring new places, and I love getting to race in places that I've never been before. And I'm like, I've never been to Finland. What else is going to take me to Finland? Let's go do it. And I knew also like the temperatures were probably going to be pretty cool, which really suits me. And yeah, so and leading into this, I really didn't have a whole lot of expectations. I really tried to go into the race with just like whatever happens happens. I've got the fitness that I've got, and I've been really consistent, like able to train consistently this year, and knowing that like it's the field and the level of competition in the past 9 years has just like skyrocketed, and particularly in the last couple of years, and especially now, like it being an Olympic qualifying year, like Taylor Knibb is just like amazing and on fire. And, our Canadian Paula Finley also just like seriously crushing it. And so I knew that like, I was like, if I hit top 15, I was going to be happy. I didn't get anywhere close to that, but, it is what it is. I tried my best on the day. I still like the course was awesome. Though I hadn't had a chance to ride or drive the bike course beforehand, so I had no idea what it was like, and I still have no idea what it was like because my head was down the whole time and I was just like riding. So I honestly have no idea what I rode through in that race. And then the run, I thought I was running hard. This crowd support was awesome out there, like having a 2-loop course, and it was like running around the stadium there in front of the ski jumps. Like it was pretty cool. It was really, really neat experience. And just to like be at a world championship event again and all of that buzz, and it was a fun experience, and I really enjoyed racing in Finland. Like the area is beautiful. I'd love to go back with my gravel bike and explore so much.
And we have a question here from Adina, actually, our friend. Do you feel more relaxed since you didn't have big expectations?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me last year, is going into my season really with just like, this is going to be fun. I'm doing something I've never done before. And so I really was just, my coach, Matteo, was basically like, just go into these races, like go as hard as you can and like see what happens. And because there wasn't a lot of pressure in terms of like results or anything like that. And so it helps me so much to be in that mental space of not having those high expectations. That being said, coming out of this race and coming out of Lake Ironman Lake Placid as well, that I raced I guess 6 weeks ago or so, or 7 weeks ago, both coming out of both of those races, I really was pretty disappointed and like was quite emotional about that as well. Just yeah, I just really, I think, hoping that I was going to do a little bit better and having a bit more confidence going into the races, that when I didn't place where I wanted to and didn't perform how I wanted to, it definitely led to a pretty big drop and in like myself emotionally. And so that's why I am really trying to focus on just being free, just like um going into things, just really trying to um just have fun and not think about like the competition and not try and put so much weight on the results. But it's challenging. It's super challenging. And I think, like last year, I had such a successful year, like one of the best of my career. And so it's hard not to have those expectations going into this year as well. Yeah, so it's just been like a bit of a roller coaster, and it's been a challenge for sure. And I'm really hoping to like pull it around in the later season.
Yeah, I definitely get that, especially when you put like there's expectations carrying over from last season into this season. It can definitely be an emotional roller coaster. But I do hope that you can go back to Lati and do gravel cycling, because that sounds like a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, before we get into segments of this chat, I have some more questions for you. Um, so here's one question. How long would you last in a zombie apocalypse?
I really feel like I would not last at all in a zombie apocalypse. I really wish that I had like great outdoor skills, survival skills, and like great fighting skills. I think the only thing I have going for me is I have such good endurance that I could like probably outrun them for a couple of days, but depending on how fast they move. Uh, but yeah, I think I would be like so dead in the zombie apocalypse.
Here's the next one. Yeah, I think I'd be probably dead too. I think I'm not, but endurance really is like my only calling card. Like I'm sure I outrun them for a few days and then not. um, Stale Sour Patch Kids or fresh circus peanuts?
Hmm. I've got quite a sweet tooth. I'm not a big sour fan, but like I probably would go with the Sour Patch Kids versus
Yeah,
peanuts.
yeah, I think everyone generally seems to. I mean, Sour Patch Kids are one of my favorite go-tos in some of these races, and circus peanuts are circus peanuts. So, um, what sound does a seal make? And yeah, this is actually a question I'm asking.
Um, what sound does a seal make? I think a seal makes like a barking noise. I think seals bark.
Yeah, Adina loves circus peanuts and stale peeps. Yeah, I think that seals are honestly just water dogs, and I will die on that hill. Like I I remember vividly like being around the ocean, and the only thing I heard was arf, 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 arf. It's just they're water dogs, and they act like dogs. Well, we had a question before I let you go. We had a question here from Nick. Are you still enjoying the swimming?
Oh yeah, my buddy Nick. You know, I do love swimming. Right now, at the end of the season, I am struggling a little bit because I've been swimming on my own most of the year, aside from what I call my international swim team. It used to be my Team Aussie swim team because I had two Australian guys that I was swimming with, but then we added another bloke who used to be on the Mexican national team. So, but they've kind of abandoned me, and so I'm all on my own. And I'm like losing my mojo a little bit. So I'm gonna try and recruit them again, get my squad back. Because
Yeah.
I had a training partner here in Vancouver, but then they moved to Victoria and left me all alone. So yeah, just been on my
Yeah.
own.
You got to get you got to get a new group of blokes, and
Yeah.
possibly I don't know what I don't know what the other version of blokes would be. But you need more peoples.
I need more swimming humans with me. Yeah. Yeah.
Human. I
Yeah.
like humans.
Yeah. And yeah, Nick and I used to swim masters together, but masters is like 5:30 in the morning, and like I don't need to get up that early.
No, definitely.
I don't, you know, this is a 9 to 5 job for me.
I love that. Well, Rach, thank you so much for coming on the Fiery Embers, and we're excited to get you back on the show in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm glad that we booked that in, and it'll be awesome to catch up and talk about 2024 and what the rest of 2023 was.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, Rach.
Yeah, thanks. You too. It was awesome.